The question of gun legislation, it was made clear to us in the briefing yesterday that the White House will not send a comprehensive bill that contains all of the gun control measures to Capitol Hill. It will defer to, in the case of the assault weapons ban and magazine size, to Senator Feinstein, to Senator Schumer on one aspect of it, Senator Gillibrand to another. There are some House Democrats who would prefer just the opposite approach, a comprehensive bill, one vote, one package to concentrate the mind of the American public and to achieve a better legislative result. Can you explain to us the strategic insight the White House has as to why it's better for the White House not to write it and send it up in one comprehensive bill?
Well, I'd answer two ways. One, some of the legislation that we are talking about here, specifically the legislation that has to do with the assault weapons and with high-capacity ammunition clips, pre-existed, and Senator Feinstein has done a lot of work on these issues and is working, and we are working with her to develop updated legislation that addresses these matters. And so that we believe that's the appropriate way to go. How this plays out legislatively is obviously hard to know, and I would point you to experts on the Hill about how it will in both the Senate and the House. Our interest is in moving this entire package in a way that is most successful, and we obviously depend in part for our decisions about strategy on our allies in Congress and how they see the best direction to move.
But it is an organic White House decision not to send up a piece of legislation it drafts in one big package. And I'm just curious.
Yeah, we haven't. We're not doing that, but
there?
we're doing that in. I mean, there's a reason here, which is that the assault weapons ban did exist, was on the books for 10 years, including a portion of it that dealt with ammunition clips. That legislation has been something. The renewal of it is something the president has supported for a long time, and Senator Feinstein is the author of that bill, and we support efforts to update it and move it forward.
Does this strategy reflect a fear that if you put everything in there with the assault weapons ban, that could pull it down, and that you have a better chance of achieving some of these other goals if they're adjudicated, if you will, in Congress separately?
You know, I can't speak to that directly. I just know that we are working with Senator Feinstein, working with other senators in the Senate, and we'll work with House members to try to move something forward here. The reality is, as we've talked about, that none of this is going to be easy, but the fact that it's not easy doesn't mean we shouldn't try.
Is some of it easier in isolation?
Well, yeah, I think that's a question about legislative tactics that you can address to Congress, members of Congress, and that I think I've addressed here. We are pursuing a course here that includes the legislation Senator Feinstein is working on, other legislation. You mentioned Senator Schumer, and we will continue to press the entire agenda the President put forward.
Thanks.